Hi guys. Let me know when, let me know who's here. Write in the chat. Really excited to be here tonight. Hi Agustin, hi Sandra, hi Juan. Thanks so much for coming. It's a Wednesday. Hi Anna, long time no see. Yes, Jose, long time no see, you're right. Hi Andres. Hello LGQ. Salvador, I recognize that name. Hi Salvador. Hi Ibrahim. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Hi Rennie Luna. I recognize that name as well. Hi. Hello from Mexico City. Hello to Mexico City. Hello Denise. Denise from Istanbul. It's wonderful to have you all here today. Tonight, I should say, or wherever you are in the world. I guess it's not the nighttime in Mexico. TFP, hello. Abraham, sorry. Greetings from Brazil. Hi, Trini. Okay, guys. Hello, first time seeing you live. Hi, Jessic. Wonderful to see you. Here. Hi, Christina. Garlic Sung. Interesting name. Okay, guys, I'm going to start kicking off. And lovely to see you all here, as I said before. Thank you so much for making the time to come along today and have this webinar. I'm really looking forward to sharing with you some things. Before we start, get a pen and a piece of paper. This is an essential for today's webinar. Pen, piece of paper. And we shall get going. Any comments, write them in the chat. I'm going to leave some time for questions at the end. So if you want to, you can ask me some questions then. But if you have any burning questions, a burning question is something that you really want to watch, then you can ask me during the presentation as well. Hello, Anna, Zilwan. Great to see all of you here. Okay, guys, we are going to crack on, as I love to say in English. So you're here tonight, and the reason why I wanted to speak to you tonight is because you're scared of speaking in English. Okay, we've established that. You're scared, and I get it, right? I'm also scared of speaking another language. I speak Spanish, and I know the feeling. So I know what it's like to stand up in front of people, to be scared, to have that fear. But what I want to try and show you tonight is that it's possible to overcome that with a plan and with practice and knowing what you're doing. It is very possible to overcome that. And as I said at the beginning, or in the information for this masterclass, really what I want to aim for you to have, or aim for you to achieve, is speaking in public and giving presentations without fear. Okay? It is possible. It may seem like a big step right now, but I'm going to give you some practical things tonight, some things that you can take away from today and you can implement tomorrow if you want to, that are going to help you give English presentations. The more you do something and the more you know what you're doing, the less fear that you are going to have doing it. Okay, so that is what we're going to focus on today, and I'm going to give you some practical things that you can take away and use today, which is why I said take a pen and a piece of paper, because you are going to want to write some things down. And, it's important to start thinking about why you're scared, right? Because all of you tell me these things. You've told me many times. You say, Anna, I am terrified of speaking in public in English. I'm terrified. Okay, remember, terrified doesn't mean terrific. Okay, terrific means very good in English. Terrified means really, really scared. And there's that voice in our head, isn't there, when we need to speak languages, which is maybe we're not going to be good enough, or maybe people are going to think that we're stupid, or maybe people aren't going to understand me. And you tell me all of these things. You tell me what you're scared of. I'm scared I'll make a mistake. I'm scared my colleagues will judge me. I'm scared the presentation will go wrong. People won't understand me. I won't have the right words. I'm scared I will freeze in the middle. Okay, this is a common thing, to freeze, when you don't know what to say. And stay tuned, because before the end, I'm going to give you some tips about exactly what to do in that situation. Now, all of this is anxiety. It's nerves about what we don't know. It's nerves about what we think might happen. And all of that weighs on us. But when I look at all of these comments and I listen to you guys and I hear you and you're saying, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. What that tells me is there is a lack of preparation, but also a lack of a guide, somebody telling you how to do things. Okay, lack of practice, lack of a guide. This is steering you on the right path. Okay, because as I said before, everything is about practice. Practice makes perfect. That's the golden phrase in English that we hear all the time. Practice makes perfect. So I'm not criticizing you for being in this position, but I'm saying that there is something that you can do about it. But I want you to know that you're by no means the only people that have this fear. Okay? By no means. 75% of people are affected by a fear of public speaking. 3/4. And let's just sit on that for a second, because this is adults who are native speakers of English, speaking in English. So imagine the percentage of people who are speaking in another language. I assume it's going to be much higher than that. So you're not alone, but which part do you want to be in, right? Do you want to be in the 75, okay, that are scared, and also that let that fear hold them back and from getting what they want? Or do you want to be in the other quarter, the 25% who are like, look, you know what? It's not the ideal situation. I'm uncomfortable, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. And let's be clear about fear and nerves, okay? Because they're kind of confused, but they're not exactly the same thing. Fear is when we know about something and that scares us. We know what's coming, right? We're like, we know we have to do an English presentation. We know we have to stand up in front of people, and we're scared of that. Whereas nerves and anxiety comes from like the unknown. So all the things that could go wrong. So they're not quite the same thing, but they kind of go hand in hand. And it's a mixture with this, right? We have fear about what we know is coming up, the English presentation, but we also have all of this anxiety about what could happen. But what I want to try and show you is that you can have the anxiety and the nerves, because we're always going to get a little bit nervous when we do important things and when we're speaking in another language. But we don't need to have fear about it. We can overcome that fear. And another really interesting statistic that I want to share with you, which I think is just sums up this point really well, which I'm telling you about. 98% of adults said they had anxiety about speaking in public. 90%, nearly everybody. Again, you're not alone. A lot of people are anxious about speaking in public, but why? Please tell me why. Write in the comments. Why do you think, or what was the main reason people said that they had anxiety about speaking in public? What was the main reason? Please tell me in the comments. What was the main reason? What do you think? I want to see if you get the answer right. Was it because they were really anxious? I want to see if you can guess the answer here. 90% of adults, which is basically everybody, everybody has anxiety when they're speaking in public. Well, the main reason, and interestingly, is, and not so interesting actually, it's not really that surprising, but it's a lack of preparation. So by doing some preparation, by having a plan, we can get rid of some of that anxiety and nervousness. I mean, come on, it's probably always good to have a little bit of nervousness because then we know that it's important. I'm seeing your comments, guys, now. Let's see who got it right. Unexpected questions, potentially. Fear of judgment. Too many eyes looking and too many ears listening. You don't know if you're going to use the right words. Yeah, absolutely. That can be difficult. And knowing exactly what words to choose. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to show you some words that you can use. Yeah, absolutely. Lack of confidence. But that lack of confidence comes from a lack of not knowing necessarily what you're doing or not preparing exactly what you need to do. A fear of being judged. Not having a plan. Exactly. Not having a plan. I was speaking with a student today or this week, and they were telling me, I was preparing with them for an interview, and they said, you know, Anna, once you do the preparation, once you just have a little bit more of an idea of what you're doing, then all of that kind of anxiety, all of that nervousness goes away. And lack of preparation is great because there's so many things that are out of our control, right? As you said in the comments, people judging us. Okay, that's out of our control. There's nothing we can do about the way that other people think about us. There's nothing we can do about that. Making mistakes. Okay, well, there's not really much we can do about that when we're learning another language because it's normal. It's natural. Okay. The fear of not having the right words or freezing. Again, that's kind of difficult for us to control because sometimes in the moment we get nervous. But what is absolutely within our control is preparation and how much work and effort we put into that. That's absolutely within our control. So fantastic news. It is in our control and there is something that we can do about it or not. I mean, I see many people who are stuck in like this cycle. Okay, this vicious cycle of having to do an English presentation, not preparing, not feeling ready, and then feeling really insecure. It's a horrible experience. They lose confidence. And then, you know, obviously they don't want to do another one, or it makes them feel less confident about achieving their next goal. And it's like a downward spiral like this. Okay. Lose confidence, and then eventually, you know, you've got no confidence left. And it feels really difficult to start again. Let me give you a personal example from me. I imagine when you go driving, right? You start driving and you know, it seems really scary at first when you drive, but then you start doing everything and you have some lessons, you have a guide who shows you how to do things, how to drive the car, and you feel more confident, and then it becomes automatic. You don't even think about it. But here's a personal example. Since I've lived in Spain, I haven't driven a car. I used to drive in the UK, no problem. But since I've been living in Spain, I haven't driven a car. And what does that mean? It means that now I'm really scared about driving a car. Because I have this, you know, fear that, you know, in Madrid for some reason it's really difficult to drive or whatever. I have a fear about it. So it means that I don't do it, right? Because I'm not practicing. I bet you if I got in a car tonight, maybe I should after this, and just did a few hours driving around, I would feel much better and much more confident. So often it's like that first step to make the effort to get out of that cycle, to get out of this vicious cycle. That's the first step, is to kind of break that and make an effort to work towards changing it. And it's really up to you, right? I mean, you can stay like this, you can keep being afraid, keep being scared, and that can weigh really heavy on you and make the whole process of giving presentations in English and just speaking in English at work just really uncomfortable and like you're suffering, you know? Or you can try and do something about it. And I love this graph because I think it really illustrates the process. So when you start to improve something, you have this like initial bump, you know, you feel great, and then you're out of your comfort zone. It feels really uncomfortable and it feels like a struggle, but then afterwards everything starts to plan or to go or fit into place. The pieces start to fall together. So I just love that graph, and I think it sums it up really, really nicely. And it's up to you. What do you want? Do you want to stay like this, or do you want to stay like this? Totally up to you. That's the thing. It's all in your hands. As I said, this is within our control. It is within your control to change the way that you feel and the way that you think about speaking English. And everything comes from that. If you start to change the way that you see speaking English, change your mindset and change your attitude, everything comes from that. So once you get over that fear, over that hurdle, then you start to think about, okay, how can I make the best messages, and how can I, really give a fantastic message in English? But you've got to get over that hurdle first. Okay? So that's the dilemma that you're faced with. You're scared of giving English presentations, but you don't know where to start, right? You're like, what do I do? Well, we're going to have a look at that right now. So this is the part where you need your pen, and this is the part where you need your piece of paper, okay? Because we're going to be doing a lot of work now, looking at different presentations, different structures. I think this is a really useful thing that you can go away and use after tonight, straight after if you wanted to. If you have an interview, you can use it straight away after. So here are some tried and tested templates. We're going to go through them. I'm going to give you advice. I'm going to guide you through them. And you can ask me any questions that you like. I'm just going to read some comments here. First time I see you in the flesh and bones after listening to your podcast for quite a few hours. You look nice. Okay, well, that's a plus. Thank you for your help and professionalism. You are very welcome. Yes, it's weird, isn't it, when you put a face to a name, when you hear somebody's voice and then you put the face to the name. That's what we say in English, to put a face to the name. Okay, let's go. Let's have a look at some different presentation templates. I'm also going to be sharing some stuff that I've never shared before. So you are going to be the first people to see that. So exciting stuff. Let's have a look at our standard presentation that we might give in English. And again, the reason I'm giving you these templates is because I want you to feel confident. And part of feeling confident is having a plan, right? Having a plan and knowing what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you feel braver to take that next step. So let's have a look at the standard information presentation. Okay, we're going to have a look at some of this vocabulary here. Take a screenshot, write it down, do whatever you have to do. I want you to go away and use these in real life. So when we're giving a presentation, more often than not, when you're at work, you're going to be giving people information. The simplest way to structure that information is to give an introduction, a couple of key points, and a conclusion. And this is, I would say, like the absolute standard that you can use in basically any context to help you speak in English. So if you're thinking, oh my God, I've got a presentation next week. My boss has asked me to speak in front of loads of people or in a team meeting and I don't know what to say. This is going to help you, okay? Keep it simple. Simple is always better. Simplicity is key. And this is the template that I would recommend. And I recommend this to anybody that is having a fear of speaking English and just needs to start, okay? These are your best friends. Firstly, secondly, finally. Your best friends, they're so clear when you're ordering information and everybody understands them. And most of all, they're easy and simple for you to use, so that if you're having a panic or you're really nervous, they're easy things that you can use. The next one I'm going to have a look at now is the how-to presentation. So this is also a really common presentation if we're speaking at work. And we're often, telling people how to do things or different steps that they have to follow. So here is a nice little template that you can use for that. Again, here, similar introduction. Always make sure that your introduction is really strong and really nice, okay? It sets the tone for the rest of your speech. And if you give a confident introduction, it brings people in, right? And also helps you to feel confident. Welcome to this presentation. I'm Anna, and I'm going to tell you about how to structure a presentation. For example, strong, short, and sweet. And it will set the tone for the rest of the presentation. Here we can talk about steps, the first step, next, last but not least. That's one of my favorite ones here. Be careful with that little pronunciation of least. It is not lest, it is least. So this is a very good template to use for a how-to presentation. If you have a how-to presentation tomorrow, you can use this and you've got your plan and you're ready to go. And all you need to do is be brave. I say all you need to do. It's hard to be brave sometimes, but this can help you feel brave. Problem solution. This is one of my favorites. Problem solution. We're always talking about problems at work. Oh my God. Problems this, problems that. But we want to give people solutions, right? So how could we talk about that in English? Here's a couple of things that you could say. Now, again, I'm giving you these structures not because I'm sure you do these perfectly in your own language and you're great at doing all these things. But what I really want to give you is the confidence to do this in English, because it's one thing to do it in your own language, and it's certainly another thing to do it in another language. So here is some great pieces of vocab that you can use to introduce this. Imagine you've got to bring this up, and for example, sorry guys, I think I was having a bit of trouble with my connection there, but I think it started again. Yes, there we go. So to touch on something is to briefly mention something. This is really nice. And to go into means to go into something is to explore it in more detail. As a way to counteract and to recap. This is a nice one. Okay. This is a nice piece of vocab if you just want to recap over things. Okay. Remember iteration. Consolidate your messages. Okay. And for example, if you think that for whatever reason people haven't understood what you've said, maybe you were really nervous, maybe for whatever reason it didn't work out this time when you're given a presentation, and be ready for that. Okay, be ready for having a few difficult times. But if you think that, then do a recap at the end. If you feel more comfortable, do a recap at the end of your presentation. That's always a good strategy. If you feel nervous, if it all ends up going wrong, do a recap at the end and people will appreciate it and you'll feel good because you've given them your message. Okay, let's have a look at a couple more. Oh, I like this one. This is one of my favorites. The informal team catch-up. This is something that people tell me about all the time. Anna, how do I do this? How do I... I've got an international team from people all over the world, France, Germany, Scotland. How do I give a presentation or talk about things in that context? So obviously this is a little bit more informal. So the vocabulary that we would use here would have to match that. So here's some things that I would suggest. And this is a template for you. This is a plan for you to go away and do that. Hi guys, if you've noticed, everybody in English says that. Hi guys, hi guys. So copy it. Okay. Thanks for coming. Let's get started. I want to tell you about, I thought it would be important to mention it because as well as this, also before I forget, okay, so this is some nice informal ways to bring something up without it being, okay, today I'm going to talk about this. This is going to be my presentation, because there are like presentations that are much smaller scale. And just to be clear, you know, when I'm talking about giving presentations, I'm talking about speaking our work. There's the favorite quote from that TED Talk that I love, which is, all speaking is public speaking. It could not be more true. Okay, I'm just going to answer a little question here before I move on to the next template. Take a picture if you haven't already. Anna, the Google Translator is bad. It depends. Yes, Carlos has said Deep L is better. So another translation website that you can use if you're preparing for your presentation is Deep L. I'm going to write that one in the chat here. You have to have caution with translators, and especially if you are doing a presentation, I would advise you, if you do use only translated material, to either get it double checked, or also just to use common sense. If you see something that seems a little bit strange, it probably is. They're not perfect, but DeepL I find is really nice. Another one that I use a lot is Word Reference. Okay, I'm all about Word Reference, but I have had a few awkward times with Word Reference as well, so it depends. Okay guys, moving on. We've had a look at some templates and plans that you can go away and use to try and help you feel more confident the next time that you speak English. Here's a bit that I think you're really going to be interested in, okay? And this is something that my students are really find really valuable, and that is interviews. As I've said before in my other on social media, I'm always saying that presentations are useful in many different aspects and also at really important points in our careers. Okay, for example, meetings, etc., but also interviews. Is there a more important point in your career than an interview? So let's look at some templates for interviews. Okay, please take a screenshot, write these ones down, because this could help you get your next job and help you feel confident in that interview when all you want to do is run away, but you're not going to run away this time. So this is a really typical question. Okay, tell me about a time when. Okay, so I'm going to focus on two questions that you might get in an interview here. Tell me about a time when you solved a problem, or tell me about a time that you dealt with a conflict. Sound familiar? Okay, these type of questions are really common in interviews, and I can give you a structure to answer that you're going to find really useful, and it's very easy to remember, which is STAR. This is a method in English that is very well known by native speakers, but not for non-native speakers of English. So I'm going to share it with you. It's nice and easy to remember. STAR kind of clicks. It's very catchy. STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. This will help you answer this question perfectly. So we want to start with the situation. Well, I recall when I was, and you set up the situation. Well, I recall when I was working in a company a few years ago and we had this huge problem with the project. Task. The task I had to complete was XYZ. Action. The action I took was to make sure that everybody understood what was going on. I also made sure that we followed up to make sure that the problem was completely closed. Result. As a result of this, I did this. So here's some vocabulary that you can use if you get asked that question in an interview, and make it obvious for them, okay? I mean, like, the task I had to complete, the action I took was as a result of this, okay? Task, action, result. Be explicit, okay? This is actually a really I'm going to leave it up there actually just for a couple more minutes. This is actually a really difficult thing to do, and it's really good to practice. Another thing that you need to be careful of when you're doing these type of things is things like the past tense, making sure that you've got all your tenses, or at least more or less you've got your tenses where they need to be. Because remember, in interviews we're often talking about, you know, what we did in the past, okay, what we did, what we've done. So a lot of past tense and present perfect, so be aware of that in interviews. Okay, we're going to move on. More things to help you feel confident, more templates, more tried and tested vocabulary. Let's go for another one with interviews. Oh, this is a good one. Love this one. Tell me about yourself. Or the classic, walk me through your CV. Okay, so where do we even start with that question? Because probably you're thinking, in English, how do I even start talking about that in English? Like, I don't know. And again, none of these things are explicit to English or exclusive for English, but you need to practice them in English. So a really good strategy for doing this one is to start with your current situation, then to highlight some of your past events, and then to match that with what the company is looking for. And here is a little template that will allow you to do that. This is part 1. Okay, so here you can see the journey, okay, of this answer. I began my career doing X, but a few years ago I was drawn to this, so I'm talking about what I'm doing now. You're talking about your skills. You're talking about your experience, your current role, and what you do here. Again, use this in your next interview, because sometimes with interview, the worst part is just even thinking about what to say, right? And that makes you so nervous before going into an interview, because you want to make sure that you do your best job, that you do your very best to get there, to get the job. And there's a second part to this as well, which I want to share with you now. Tell me about yourself. Continued. Match things that they want in the answer. So match what they're looking for. You need to use some of the vocabulary. A little tip here is when you get a job description in English, go through and look at the vocabulary that they use to describe the job and match that vocabulary into your answers. But the key thing here that I really want to stress as well is don't rehearse this to a point where it's robotic, right? Because when you're in an interview, it needs to come off as being authentic, as authentic as possible, okay? I appreciate that perhaps the first step is just being comfortable saying some of these sentences. But you want to aim to be natural and not robotic. This is like an outline, okay? What I'm giving you here is a plan, okay? Something that you can work from, but you can adjust it. You could change it, some of the words to a different synonym or whatever, but you want to try and be natural with these phrases. And all that I'm giving you is a guide here, okay? These are guides. They are not things that you have to do, but they're stuff that I would really recommend based on the experience I've had and what I know works and helps people feel comfortable speaking in English. Wow, that question is probably one of the most difficult interview questions. Tell me about myself or walk me through your CV is probably the most difficult question. And walk me through, by the way, if somebody says that to you, it just means explain to me in detail. Walk me through or take me through. Yep, absolutely. TFP, yep, absolutely. Trini. Walk me through or take me through your CV is absolutely the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so moving on, we've had a look at some templates, okay, and I really hope that they were useful. Don't worry, I'll be sending them to you at some point after the masterclass, okay? Moving on. This is a wonderful question that I get a lot. What about if I go blank in the middle of a presentation? And this is one of the big fears that we have, right, that we talked about at the beginning. What about if I go blank? Disaster, okay? And it happens to absolutely everybody. Everybody. Even in your own language, it happens. I've seen it happen so many times with students. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's really, really not. But what can we say in this instance? Again, take a screenshot. Sorry, where was I? Just a moment. Let me look at my notes. Okay, so this is a way that you can, just a moment. Let me look at my notes, go back, look at what you have to say, and then get back on track. I mean, you could just be really honest and say, I'm really sorry, I went blank. I'm really sorry. Be honest. There's nothing wrong with that. Another really a good thing, if you're really nervous and maybe you've messed up something or whatever, recap what you last said. So you could say, for example, as I was saying XYZ, or oops. We could do a little bit of a Britney Spears there. Oops, I did it again. Oops, I lost my train of thought. This is a little bit more informal, a little bit more playful. And honestly, that's what I would encourage you to do. Not to take this type of situation too seriously. And if you're in the right environment, make a little bit of a joke about it, Make a little bit of a joke. And that relaxes the atmosphere as well. And it will relax you and it will relax everybody else as well. But don't panic. Okay? The immediate thing is like panic, red, the world is ending, everything's collapsing around me. Have one of these phrases, prepare it, have it ready in case you need to read it, and off you go, and you continue. And once you start practicing presentations a lot, this type of thing will just be like second nature. You'll get stuck, and then you'll find a way. You'll find a route around it, right? You'll find another way past. And it's just practice. All of this is just practice. I come back to the thing again. Practice makes perfect. Let me see some of these comments on here. The more successful way is being natural. Sure, absolutely. Being natural is absolutely the goal. I know that maybe for you you in general, it might be the first step is getting the words out, getting confident, just speaking, and then being more natural is something that can come after that. And that's what I would say. It's like these things are being confident comes from preparation, planning, etc. And that's what you need to focus on first, getting that confidence up. Okay, because you can already speak English. You're here, you're listening to me, you're on this webinar, you understand English, and I'm sure that you can communicate a message in English. It might not be perfect, but you can speak English. But what's holding you back is your confidence. It's your confidence. Trust me, I've seen thousands of presentations. I don't think I've ever seen a presentation that was completely perfect by somebody that spoke a non-native speaker speaking English. I don't think I've seen it so far. But I understood everything. So it's not the English that's the problem. It's yourself feeling these anxieties and issues and nerves. And that's what's holding you back. Anyway, more things that can help you, okay? Of course, I love to give you lots of resources and help you out as much as I possibly can. English presentation checklist. I've sent it out a couple of times, okay? You're on the newsletter, so you will have seen it. But I'm going to send it out again. This is your one-stop shop. If you're looking for what you need to do to prepare for a presentation, this is where you need to go. Practice in front of the mirror. I know a couple of people who do this and it works really successfully, and I'm going to send you some exercises to do this over the next couple of days, and I want you to practice, and this is a way that you can practice at home. Repeat, practice, repeat, and practice, and take every opportunity to give a presentation in English. Now, of course, maybe you're looking at that and thinking, okay, yeah, but Anna, I'm still really scared of speaking English, and I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more help than that. So if you are feeling like you're missing opportunities, and that's something I really think is important to stress here, is because I've had many people say to me, Anna, I haven't gone for that job interview because it was in English, and I'm scared about speaking English. Or, yeah, I saw the job description, it looked nice, but maybe next year. Why next year? Why next year? Why wait? Why wait? Getting over your fear of speaking English is going to pay you dividends in so many ways. If your fear is holding you back as well, and you really feel like this is stopping you achieving where you're going, and if you're suffering a lot, that's the thing, isn't it, right? If you're suffering every time you have to speak in public in English at work, you just feel like you're suffering. It doesn't have to be like that. You can enjoy the process. If you're committed to change, And oh, sorry guys, you can't see that one here. And you want to plan. There we go. You want to plan. And you want to plan. I want to be there to help you, okay? I want to be able to guide you through that. So I want to tell you about my course, which I've run twice this year. And I'm really happy to tell you that I am opening it again for the winter season, shall we say. But why should I help you, or why can I help you with this? Well, this is my job, okay? I do it day in and day out. I've seen thousands of English presentations, thousands. Not enough. I need to see more. I need to see your English presentations as well. I've helped hundreds of students, okay, with their business English, speak better English. Hundreds, okay? And I'm helping them right now. As I said, this is what I do day in and day out. I also have a professional background as well. I've worked in different organizations across my career, so I know the type of environment that you're working in, this professional environment. I know what is required. And all of this, and my kind of passion for helping people feel confident, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to speak in another language and feel scared and nervous. All of this is why I wanted to create the course, okay, which is Confident Presentations. The aim of this course is to stop being scared and start giving your presentations without fear. Applications are open now, and I want to tell you a little bit more about this course and how it could help you. And you can ask me any questions that you like at the end. Really, what this course is about is getting you out of your comfort zone, okay? You're in your comfort zone right now, okay? Because, you know, maybe you're avoiding speaking English or avoiding doing English presentations. You're in your comfort zone, okay? All right? And what I want to do is push you, very gently, of course, but I want to push you out of that comfort zone by forcing you to speak in English and give a presentation from the first moment. Okay, from the first step, it's as we say in English, a baptism of fire, because this is the quickest way that you're going to get over that fear of speaking in front of people in English. So this course is about getting you out of that comfort zone and getting you in all of that practice that you need. Practice, practice, repeat. Practice, practice, repeat. This is the essence of this course, and what it's about. And maybe at the moment you feel a little bit like this lovely lady here. Where's the picture? Here we go. A little bit nervous, a little bit stressed. Maybe you're hiding like this guy here. But with practice and guidance, because guidance is really, really important, especially when we're speaking in another language. We need to know what are the right grammar structures. We need to know about pronunciation. That's all very important. But it could take you to this. Maybe with a bit of practice and guidance, you can get that job that you're looking for, or you can at least have the confidence to go for that job and give your answers and do the interview, or give that meeting in front of your international colleagues on Zoom or face-to-face or whatever. Or who knows, maybe you're going to be this guy. Maybe eventually you'll be standing up in front of hundreds of people giving English presentations. Maybe you'll give English presentations better than me. I'm sure you probably will. So all of this and the course is about giving you a roadmap to confidence. So I'm going to work on your mindset. This is about having the right attitude. As I mentioned before, I'm going to give you a plan, templates, like we were practicing before, but more templates, more vocabulary, video tutorials, how to speak naturally, as you said in the comments here. Practice. This is the key thing, okay? Practice over and over and over again. And guidance. And this is where I come in. I mean, you can practice whatever you want at home, but you need guidance from me. I can help you talk about grammar. I can help advise you on your pronunciation. and I can help really tell you what are the key things that you need to do in order to improve and give you really personalized feedback. And don't just take my word for it. I want to share with you how this has helped other people to improve their presentation skills and also their confidence. And what I really found with the people that have done the course, and some of them have told me afterwards that they are doing presentations and practicing that, and that they really found a big boost in their confidence. So this is how it's helped others, and I think that it could help you as well. So what's the investment? What does it mean from you? Time, money, etc. So in terms of the cost, it's a group course. I want to make that really clear. The reason why it's a group course is because I want you to practice in front of other people. I think that's really important. I want you to get that experience talking in front of other people. Right from the first moment, right from the first session. So the cost of the group course is 550 euros. However, I'm doing something very special for you guys, and I'm going to offer you the course for 480 euros if you sign up before Monday, the 8th of November. That's a 70% discount, or 70 euro discount, I should say. And that's a big thank you for being a subscriber, and also for coming here tonight and making the effort to come to the masterclass. And I know that you're really interested in working on your confidence. So this is a big thank you for that as well. So in terms of your time, because people ask me about this, what does that mean in terms of my time? It means you need to be able to commit. This is something you're really serious about, okay? If this is something you're not very serious about, then this is not for you. But since you're here, I guess that this is something that you care about. So it's going to take a few hours a week. I would say between 4 or 5 hours of work. And all of the resources that you get are going to help you to become more confident, improve your vocabulary, etc. And you need to study those outside of the sessions. So that's kind of how the course is made up of. It's made up of sessions, and it's also made up of resources as well. So if you want to sign up, the steps are: schedule an appointment with me, okay, and I will have a quick 15-minute chat with you, check your level. It's very important because it's a group course that I put you in levels that match, okay, so all of the groups are going to have levels that match with each other. Then we'll sign you up, and then you can start getting rid of your fear speaking English. As I said, it's a baptism of fire, okay? All right? From the very first moment, the very first session, you are going to be giving presentations in English. That's what you're going to be doing the whole time. So there's no way that you can escape it. And I'm going to push you out of that little comfort zone that you are in right now. But by doing that, and you'll thank me after, you're going to get much more confidence speaking in English. Now, the group places are super limited, okay? So if this sounds like something that you want to work on, don't miss out. It's also, I've run this course twice already this year, but I'm not planning to run it until at least 2022. So this is going to be the last chance for a while, okay? And I don't know if I'm going to run it again in the same format. So if you want to do this course, now is the time to do it. And it starts on the 15th of November, which is extremely exciting. But I won't say any more. I will answer some questions, and I'm going to go over to the chat here and start answering some questions from you guys. So let's have a look at the chat. I'm going to put me up on here. And I want to say a huge congratulations to all of you right now that are on the stream for taking the time out of your day to come and get the advice, get the tips, get the guidance. I can see that you're really serious about this, and I really hope that you've taken something away from today. So let's answer some questions. Here we go. Okay. Does this class will this class be in YouTube later, as I want to see it again? Yes, Mohammed. I am going to send this link to I'm going to send it to all of you, your newsletter subscribers, so you will be able to watch it again. I'm going to leave it up for a limited time, so it will be up for a few days, and then I'm going to take it down. But I am going to send it again. No worries. It will be out there. Really nice formula, because if I needed to find these kind of expressions to practice, it would be really hard. Exactly. That's why I wanted to do this tonight, because I wanted to just give you the templates that you can go away and use without even thinking. Where can we practice speaking with other people? I think this is important to get confident. Absolutely. In the presentations course, it's a group course, so you're going to practice speaking in front of other people, which I think is why I wanted to do it as a group course. Smiley face. I want it. Where can I pay? Okay, I'm going to send an email to the list. Okay, I'm going to send you an email right now after the masterclass with all the details about how to sign up. The first step, as I said before, is to schedule a quick appointment with me. Let me check your level and get you signed up. When does the course start and how long does it last? Great question, Mar. Thank you. The course starts on the 15th of November and it lasts for 8 weeks. We're going to have a little break for Christmas, okay? Just 1 week over Christmas, so I will allow time for that. Ooh, Rogue Pen will allow time for that as well. So it starts on the 15th of November and lasts for 8 weeks. Paula, how long is the course and how many classes per week? So the course is 8 weeks and there's 1 session per week of 1 hour. So in total, that is 8 sessions. Mar, question, and from what time to what time? It depends. At the moment, I do the sessions from Wednesday evening between 7 and 8 p.m. Madrid time. However, that can be flexible depending on the group. Okay, so we can work around, we can have a lunchtime session. So it depends on the group, but there are a couple of times available. The course lasts for 8 weeks. No, Jagged, that's a great question. How many people at most do you plan to put into a single group? Okay, in a single group, maximum 4. Maximum 4. Maximum. Why? I'm really obsessed with the number 4 when it comes to teaching. I really think 4 is the perfect number. So 4 people is going to give you a great audience, which is it's a good audience to practice in front of, and it also gives everybody the time to receive personalized feedback as well. So a maximum of 4 in each group. Denise, what is the teaching platform? We'll be using Zoom. Okay. So we'll be using the standard Zoom application, which to deliver the sessions. Okay, and the way that I like to run the sessions is every week you're going to be doing a presentation. Okay, as I mentioned before, a baptism of fire. You're going to get all your resources to prepare for the session and to prepare your presentation, and then in the session you will deliver your presentation and ask questions. That's a really, really important part as well. We're going to do the whole thing. You're going to give your presentation, you're going to get the questions, so it's going to practice all of that interaction. I'm going to give you vocabulary as well for how to ask questions and how to respond to them appropriately. And we'll do any other exercises that I want to work on with you to practice, for example, pronunciation, any of your grammar mistakes. I'm going to give you feedback on that so you know exactly what your mistakes are and how you can improve it. Okay. Any other questions? Let me know now, guys. And thank you so much for being here, and I really, really hope that tonight was useful for you. And as I said, I will be sending a recording of the stream of the masterclass and some other useful things over the next couple of days as well. Okay, right. Let's do a quick review from the top here as well. Talk me through, walk me through means explain something to me. Okay, guys, right. I will wrap up. Do we need to get ready or do any preparation before the class? Yes, Dennis. Great question. Absolutely, yeah. Before the class, you will be preparing a presentation. Okay, so in each session, you'll have to do a presentation. So I will give you the presentation template, okay, which will be, it's a document with loads of vocabulary that you can use. I'll also give you a vocabulary list and an audio so that you can hear the pronunciation of the words and the phrases. There'll also be a presentation example, so you can watch a presentation, answer questions on it. So there is things to prepare for each of the classes, and that's kind of what makes this course different, is because you've got that additional element. It's not just turning up and giving presentations. You do the work outside of the class. You prepare for the presentation, and you have lots of extra resources as well, which you can keep forever. They're always yours. Does it include a certificate? Absolutely, Gaston. Of course. A certificate at the end. Okay. And all of the course over the 8 weeks is working up to that last presentation on the 8th week. And yes, there will be a certificate at the end to show and prove that you have completed the course. Okay. Right. Well, we've just cut it in at 55 minutes. I'm very proud of myself. We've done it for the hour. Thank you so much, everybody, for turning out today. It's been wonderful to see you and to see some familiar names as well. Okay. I see some of you from the last masterclass. It's fantastic to see you again. And I'll be sending you an email right now with the information about how you can sign up. Thank you so much, guys, and have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.